All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, Rakatham. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. They were that Ruel, and a salute and the Shalom to all the Akim that are out your labor pushing this truth in all sincerity and in truth. Real quick, this lesson is going to be titled The Faith of Caleb and David, meaning King David. This was before he became king. Let's get is it in the book of Numbers? Hold on. We're in the book of Numbers. Here it is, Numbers 13. It says, this is Numbers 13 and 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Send thou men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them. And Moses, by the commandment of Yahweh, sent them from the wilderness of Paran. And it says all those men were heads of the children of Israel. It says, and these were the names of the tribe of Reuben, Shemua, the son of Zakur, of the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, son of Hori, of the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jeduthun, of the tribe of Issachar, Igal, the son of Joseph, of the tribe of Ephraim, O'Shea, the son of Nun. It says the tribe of Benjamin, Pautai, the son of Rapu, of the tribe of Simeon, Slagi, of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, the son of Sodi, of the tribe of Joseph, namely of the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, the son of Susi, of the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gamali, of the tribe of Asher, Sathur, the son of Michael, of the tribe of Naphtali, Nabai, the son of Vosvi, of the tribe of Gad, Giyul, I guess that's how you say that, the son of Makai. These are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called O'Shea, the son of Nun, Jehoshua. And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, Get you up this way southward, and go up into the mountain, and see the land, what it is, and the people that it says, and the people that dwell therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be good or bad, and what cities they be that they dwell there. It says that they dwell in, whether in tents or strongholds, and what the land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether it be wood therein or not. And be ye of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. So they went up and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin unto and into Kana to Rahab, as men come to Hamath. And they ascended by the south and came unto Hebron, where Haman and Shishai and Ptolemy, the son of Khan, the children of Anak, where now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. And they came unto the brook of Eshcol, and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes. And they bear, it says, and they bear it between two upon a staff. And they brought of the pomegranates and of the figs. And the place was called the brook Eshcol, because of the cluster of grapes, which the children of Israel cut down from thence. And they returned from searching the land after 40 days. And they went and came to Moses and Aaron, and to all the people, it says, and to all the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and to all the congregation, and shewed them the fruit of the land. And they told him and said, We came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey. This is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. Moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and Jebusites and Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land, which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, The land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. And it says, and there we saw giants, the son of Anak, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants. and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers. So were we in their sight, right? But Caleb said what? Let us go up and possess it. Say what? Let us go up. Well, it said what? Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are able to overcome it. See, man. So Caleb said, first of all, let us go up at once. We got this. Fuck those people. He said, hey, we can do this. See? Hold on. See, man? So Caleb came with what he came with a faithful report. He said, hey, we can do this. He said, those people in the land ain't shit. We got this. See? Hebrews 11. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. See? So Caleb came with a faith-filled report. Hold on real quick. Now, let's get all right. Let's see real quick. Let's see. Not one of these people will ever enter that land. Said my servant Caleb has a different attitude than the others have. He has remained loyal to me. All right, man. Now let's get 2 Samuel. Is that? Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Now, this is 1 Samuel 17:1. It says, now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and they were gathered together at Succoth, which belongeth to Judah, and pitched between Succoth and Ascah, and Esphaddim. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah, and set the battle in array against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on a mount, and that the Philistines stood on a mountain on one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side. And there was a valley between them. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits, and the span was 6 cubits in the span. So he was over 9 feet tall. That's what it say. And he had a helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail. And the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. So the coat of mail weighed 125 pounds. And he had a greaves, God says, and he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and a target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron, and bearing one shield went before him. It says the shaft of his spear was as heavy and thick as a weaver's beam, tipped with an iron spearhead that weighed 15 pounds. With his armor bearer walked ahead of him, bearing a shield. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, Why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down. It says, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then we will be your servants. But if I prevail against him, it says, but if I prevail against him and kill him, then ye shall be our servants and serve us. And that the Philistines says, and the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. And when Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Right? Now remember, David, Jesse's father. No, Salakia. Remember, David, the son of. Remember, Jesse sends David with a cheese pledge to basically so he can bring the cheese pledge to his brothers and basically ask them how the war is going, how the war is how the war is going. So like it say, now David was the son of that Ephrathite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. And he had 8 sons. And the man went among men from an old man in the days of Saul. And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shammah. And David was the youngest, and the 3 eldest followed Saul. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his sheep, to feed his father's sheep in Bethlehem. But David God says, and the Philistines drew near morning and evening, and presented himself 40 days. And Jesse said unto David his son, take now for thy brethren an ephah of this parched corn, and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to thy brethren, and carry these 10 cheeses unto the captain of the 1,000. See, and look how thy brethren fare, and take their pledge. And say, and give these 10 cuts of cheese to the captain, and see how your brothers are getting along, and bring back a report on how they are doing. And now it says, now Saul and they and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah, fighting with the Philistines. And David rose early in the morning and left the sheep with the keeper, and took and went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to the fight, and shouted for the battle. For Israel and the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army. And David left his courage. So like it says, and David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper, and the carriage and ran into the army, and came and saluted his, and it says, and came and saluted his brethren. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion of the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words. And David heard them. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him, and were sore afraid. And the men of Israel said, have you seen this man that is come up? Surely to defy Israel he is come up. And it shall be the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house great in Israel. And David spake to the man that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of a living power? All right, man. So, all right, man. So David said, hold on. Who is this uncircumcised heathen that's talking all this shit? And we said, are y'all not going to do anything about it? It say, and the people answered him after this manner, so it shall be done to the man that killeth him. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he spake unto the men. And Eliab's anger was kindled against David. And he said, why comest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride and the naughtiness of thine heart. Thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle. See, man? So David's oldest brother basically said, David, like, what are you doing, man? You're supposed to be back home keeping the sheep, though, man. I know why you're here, though, man. You're being nosy. And David said, what have I done now? God says, and David said, what have I now done? Is there not a cause? So David said, like, hold on. What's the big deal? I'm asking a question. And he turned from him toward another, and spake after the same manner. And the people answered him after the former manner. It says, and when the words which heard, says, and the words which were heard, says, so like, it says, and when the words were heard, which David spake, they rehearsed them before Saul and sent him for him. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with, and go, says, hold on. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine, right? So David said, hold on, man, hold on, wait. Don't be afraid of this heathen, man. He ain't shit. Don't worry about him. Look, since y'all are afraid to do it, I'll go up and fight him. How about that? And Saul said unto David, thou art not able to go and fight against this Philistine, to fight with him, to go against this Philistine and to fight with him. For thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep. And there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. When he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him. And thy servant slew both the lion and the bear. And this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of Israel, the armies of a living power. All right, man. So David said, first of all, I kept my father's sheep. A bear and a lion came up. I killed the bear and the lion. And this uncircumcised heathen will be the same as them. I will slew him. I will. Yeah, David basically said, like, well, look here. I killed them. I will do the same thing to him. And David said, moreover, that this says, and David said, moreover, Yahweh that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, Yahweh Bashemal shall be with thee. And Saul armed David with his armor, and he put an helmet of brass upon his head also, and he armed him with a coat of mail. And David girded his sword upon his armor, and essayed to go, for he had not proved it. This was his first time wearing it. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off him. And he took his staff in his hand, and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip. And his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy, and of a fair countenance. And the Philistine said unto David, I am a dog. And the Philistine said unto David, It says, yeah, and the Philistines said unto David, Am I a dog, and thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. And the Philistine said to David, Come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field. Then said David to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with the sword and with the spear and with the shield, but I come to thee in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts, the power of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. Now, what does defied mean? Defied. Defied means to reproach, taunt, blaspheme, jeopardize, rail, upbraid. So David basically said, like, look here, man, you've been talking shit so David said, listen, man, you've been talking shit this whole time. And you think I'm supposed to be afraid of you. This day, Yahweh Shemal Shah says, this day will Yahweh Shemal Shah deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee. And I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and unto the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a power in Israel. See, man, so David said, this day will Yahweh Shemal Shah deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee. Man, come on, man. Says today, Yahweh Shemal Shah will conquer you, and I will kill you and cut off your head. Then will I give the dead bodies of your men to the birds and wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a power in Israel. And all this assembly shall know that Yahweh Shemal Shah saveth, not with sword and spear, for the battle is Yahweh Shemal Shah's, and he will give you into our hands. See, and what did Moses say? Moses said, what? Stand still and see the salvation of Yahweh Shemal Shah. See? He also said what? Yahweh Shemal Shah will fight for you. See? So, all right, man. So Yahweh Shemal Shah fought for David, man, before he became king. Come on, man. And it came to pass when the Philistines arose, it says, when the Philistine arose and came and drew near, it says, and drew nigh to David, to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in the shepherd, and David put his hand in his bag, and took thence a stone, and it says, and sling it, and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face. God says, Salakia, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in David's hand. Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine, and took his sword and drew it out of the sheath thereof, and slew him and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. See, man? So the faith of so the faith of Caleb and the faith of David, man. They were persuaded in their own minds. They believed, man. They believed. Let's get this. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, right? It says, this is Romans 14:5. One man esteemeth one day above another. Another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. See, man? So Caleb and David were persuaded in their own mind. Jake, we must be persuaded. We must be fully convinced in our own mind, man. All right. So with that, I say shalom.